Yan, ang ating code po natin ay hashtag FY2022 Proc Summit BS1.
Sir Rainier H. Diaz.
Pleasant good afternoon to everybody. And thank you, Miss Jo, for introducing me for this session po. And again, parang medyo mahirap magsalita with the face mask. So let me just remove it for now. And again, I'm Rainier H. Diaz from the Department of Budget and Management, Central Office. And I'll be your moderator, facilitator for this session. So before we get started, allow me to make a few reminders po. For our Zoom participants, please change your name using the required format. That is your company or agency name, underscore your full name for us to properly identify you and monitor your attendance. Also, in order to maintain clarity and to be able to properly manage the time, microphones shall be muted throughout the entire session. So also, please keep your mobile phones on silent mode po for this session po. And also, please be informed that this event is being recorded and simultaneously being broadcast live in our Facebook and YouTube official pages. And please be advised that all questions related to this learning session shall be accommodated by our resource speakers during the open forum. And for questions, kindly use your Zoom chat box, or for those who are in our live audience, there is a QR code in your tables, so you can use that. And also, participants can start dropping their questions via Zoom chat box, Slido event page, and for those who are with us through Facebook and YouTube, you can also put in your questions or comments in the comment section while the learning session is ongoing. So to commemorate this event, participants shall be asked for a group photo towards the end of the program. So let's go for this activity na po. Let's start. So today we are thrilled because we are having an entire session first in the trends on digital technology. So we will have 6 presenters for this session po. And that will allow us to introduce let me introduce our speakers for this session. First up, our first speaker was previously a product manager for Dell EMC and Nutanix, with years of experience in designing and deploying HCI products to clients. And he is now working with Sang4 as a pre-sales manager. He is Mr. Rico Leo Suquilia. And then, let me just introduce the other speakers before we proceed with the presentation proper. So our next second speaker is a sales supervisor at AG Datacom Philippines Incorporated, group of companies. So she will give us a quick overview of AGD Group and the solutions they have to offer. And then afterwards, we will have a duo of presenters from the Land Bank of the Philippines and OF Bank. For the OF Bank po, he is the Assistant Vice President and Relationship Officer of the OF Bank, which is a savings bank of the Land Bank of the Philippines. Afterwards, he will be followed by the Cash Management Services Officer and Marketing Officer of the Customer Engagement Department, handling South NCR of the Land Bank of the Philippines. For this, the presenters will be Mr. Jose Emmanuel C. Valdez for OF Bank and Mr. Paul Christian Cortez of the Land Bank of the Philippines. And then the next presenter after them is serving on numerous boards of companies that are engaged in international shipping, plastic manufacturing, agri and agricultural, real estate development, remittance centers, and machine vision and machine learning. So he is the CEO of the Dion Group of Incorporated, Mr. Alejandro James Siongban. Afterwards, and the final speaker po natin for this session po, has over 22 years of business and technology sales and is a recognized expert in cloud infrastructure, data platform, AI or ML, blockchain or OIT, IoT, sorry, and AP. So the last presenter will be Mr. Jed Cruz, the and AI specialist at Microsoft. So with that, let me now call on our first speaker po, si Mr. Rico Leo Soquilla. Let us give a warm hand of applause.
All right. So, good afternoon everyone. Sorry to disappoint. Hindi ko kasing pogi si Rico. Ayun. So, unfortunately, no, Rico will not be able to join us here. Nagkaroon lang siya ng emergency, no. So, today, okay, I will be presenting Sangfor's product portfolio. So, my name is Greggy Franz Perez, one of the pre-sales manager, no, from Sangfor Philippines. I think may mga familiar faces ako dito na nakita kanina na dumaan sa booth namin. But for everyone or for others na hindi familiar, sino po yung hindi familiar sa Sangfor dito? Madami pala. Ayun. So to give you a brief introduction of our company. So si Sangfor is IT infrastructure vendor. No, we are specializing in network security and cloud computing. Okay. So next slide. Ayun. So this is just a high level design of our product portfolio. No. So makikita natin, we can see there that we have grouped them into different portfolio. We have gateway security, we have a solution for endpoint security, cyber command, and of course for our data center. Okay, so to start with our diagram, we start at the topmost. Now we have solutions for SSL VPN. So we utilize our NGAF or our firewall. No? So tinawag siyang NGAF basically. It's a combination of your next generation firewall with web application firewall. So again, it's a two separate security, but we combine them in one platform. So that's one of our advantage, no? So when it comes to your sa pag-spend ng budget natin, we have two different securities in one platform. So kaya siya tinawag na NGAF. Again, it's a combination of next generation firewall and web application firewall. Okay? So for the features naman ng firewall namin, we have of course the standard features of your web firewalls, but what I want to highlight no yung features namin are we have the built-in WAF. No, aside from that, we have the standard features na yung mga application blocking, IPS, your intrusion prevention system, okay? And of course, yung risk assessment natin. So basically, our firewall gives you an assessment of your network's security posture. And it also gives recommendation sa mga weaknesses ng network natin. Okay? So, moving downward dun sa diagram natin, we have the IAG. So, si IAG, hindi siya popular dito sa Philippines, but it is commonly known as Secure Web Gateway. Okay? So, we coin it as a bandwidth manager, advanced application control, no? So this appliance, yung IAG namin, is basically to complement our firewall. So we want our firewall to focus mainly on the security processes of your network. Then our secure web gateway will handle yung user authentication natin, our bandwidth management, our advanced application control. We can even use our IAG for our proxy. So especially if you want to audit or if you want to have privacy of your network, pwede natin gamitin yung ating IAG as a proxy server. Okay? Then we also have Cyber Command. No? So Cyber Command, though it's new on the market, so it's basically called yung NDR or yung network detection and response natin. So what it does, it scans the network. No? So kung we have endpoint security antivirus for our local host, mga PCs and laptops natin, our Cyber Command is the antivirus of our network. So it basically scans the network traffic for malicious activities, malicious traffics na generated ng mga endpoints or even outside attacks, no? Nakikita po siya ni Cyber Command. Okay? Then lastly, we have of course yung ating DC zone. So yung DC, this is where our infrastructure like our servers, no, dito naka-reside yung data natin, and we consider data as the new gold kasi within our organization, we all know data is the heart, no, of our system. Okay, so with Sang4 we have so-called our HEI o yung hyper-converged infrastructure natin. So dito na rin pumapasok yung virtualization na tinatawag. No? So we have virtualized the server, storage, networking, and Sang4 is the first third generation HCI provider. Siya po yung first vendor to incorporate security on our HCI, which is yun nga yung meron na siyang incorporated na po yung security dun sa HCI natin. And of course, for business continuity, our HCI also supports high availability. So I think meron tayong memo for government to have business continuity, and it's very important, no? Especially if we're hosting important data and we don't want downtime, of course. Okay? So for the next product lines naman, next slide please. We also have our cloud computing portfolio. No? So on the left side, makita natin the traditional setup of our servers. No? We have their physical servers. So sa physical servers, nakikita natin 1:1. One application, one server. So say for example, our HRIS or student information system, ano pa ba yung mga ginagamit natin? ERP. So that's the traditional. We have one server per one application. The downside of this setup is mahirap mag-backup or meron tayong single point of failure. Even yung 3-tier design natin, yung nasa ilalim. No? So once na nasira yung database natin, we no longer have access on our database. We no longer access, no, dun sa ano natin, sa kailangan nating information. So that results to downtime. Right? Then meron tayong on-premise private cloud, which is yung HCI natin. So this HCI resolves all those issues. Okay? So we have better high availability. So ito kasi meron siyang tinatawag na multi-copies mechanism. So with that, no, na for example, nag-down yung isa mong server, you have the redundancy. No? Your application can still run because it has a copy to a different node. So with that, no, tuloy-tuloy yung business natin, even mag-down yung mga servers natin. Right? Then, with Sang4, we provide free backup. So, ito kasi, ano na siya, kumbaga, it's a add-on value namin na hindi na natin kailangan bumili nung backup application. No? Kasi, it's important for us to back up. So, for example, nagkaroon ng disaster, nagkaroon ng ransomware, or even hardware malfunction. So, paano natin i-recover yung data? We have backup also. Okay? Then, the third one, the public cloud. So, I know medyo growing na yung business ng cloud. Kasi, as mentioned, meron ding memo about cloud first policy CDICT. No? So, with that, we also cater public cloud. No? So, if you want to host your applications, your servers on cloud, and it's also you require it not to go outside the Philippines. We are hosting our cloud here in the Philippines. So it's hosted basically, it's in Makati. No? So for those who are asking, so kaya na po natin i-cater yung mga cloud requirements natin. Then lastly, no, we have the hybrid cloud. So we support on-premise, a combination of on-prem and cloud. No? So if you want, pwede siyang combination. Okay? So for on-premise, if you want, if you're hosting sensitive applications, sensitive data, for example, your ERP, you can still host it locally. And for your cloud, pwede natin gamitin yung mga front-end applications natin or even websites natin. No? So that's the advantages of using hybrid naman. Okay? So yeah, that's basically the end of Sang4's product portfolio. So I have 2 slides lang. So later on siguro during the forum, meron tayong Q&A. Yan. So thank you everyone for listening. Hopefully meron akong insights na nabigay sa inyo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greggy Perez, for introducing us do sa products ni Sang4. Now, let's call on Ms. Darlene Pearl Alcantara for AGD Group of Companies. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Darlene Pearl Alcantara. I'm currently the sales supervisor for AG Datacom Files Inc. Remove my mask. So this is AG group of companies and composed of two companies mainly, the AG Datacom and AGD Infotech. So here, our business is a system integration for over 25 years. So on behalf of AG Group of Companies, it is with pride that I present to you its products and solutions and services that can take part on the innovative future and digitalization of your firms. Next slide, please. So here, our company offers a wide range of business telecommunication system, such as Suncom. It is a GSM gateway or VoIP terminal, Conftel for teleconferencing solution, Talariax for SMS gateway, and email and SMS blasting, as well with IT alerts and notification management system. Teleconnectors for headsets, webcams, and telecom equipment. Multisons for digital call recording, and Panasonic for phones and PBX. Next, we have cybersecurity solutions. So here we have Trend Micro, Bitdefender, Sophos for antivirus and endpoint security, WatchGuard, Fortinet, Checkpoint, CrowdStrike for multi-level network security or firewall. So next here is data center and infrastructure management. We have Huawei, an innovative end-to-end ICT infrastructure solutions, Manage Engine, an IT infrastructure management software, Servers Check for environmental sensors intended for critical infrastructure monitoring, Ruigi, Aruba, Progress for network management operations like access points, load balancer with network analytics, as well with automated network monitoring. Also, here is Hitachi for data storage system, Dawa and Hikvision for video surveillance, Net Support for educational and corporate software, Google Workspace for productivity and collaboration tools, and OpenText for information and management system. In line with that, we also have Warehouse Distribution Center Solutions, which is ATOP Technologies, our Pictolite system. We also have hospitality solutions like XPossible, our internet management solutions, and Datacom Call Accounting, our telephone billing system. We also have Safe City Solutions and Operation and Command Center Solutions, and it is Huawei. Also, we have customized software for fixed asset management, Enterprise Resource Portal or ERP, accounting software, enrollment software, payroll and HR software, and warehouse management software. The services we offered are IT consulting system and integration with demo and proof of concept or proof of value, professional services like implementation services, training, support, and preventive maintenance, and IT software development and outsource services with our systems engineers. Next slide, please. Here are a glimpse of our satisfied customers. You can refer with our success stories and case studies, covering different verticals such as government, banking and finance, schools, BPO, healthcare, logistics, utilities, hotels, and more. Next slide, please. As our partner alliances, we recently acquired our gold partnership with Huawei Technologies to supply IT solutions among businesses here in the Philippines. Next slide, please. As well with other brands like Trend Micro, Manage Engine, Bitdefender, Servers Check, Samcom, and XPossible. Next slide, please. I would also like to introduce you our affiliate, AGD Infotech Inc., which business was built through an intimate and exemplary understanding of a true distribution model for channels and resellers. Next slide, please. Their product portfolio is comprised of network security solutions, cybersecurity, telecom, ICT infrastructure, surveillance, document management, and data center design and build-ups. Next slide, please. Now, for more information, we are inviting everyone to visit us in booth 18. We have our live demo and demo units displayed here. We can also schedule a meeting for more in-depth discussion. With that, thank you, and we hope to do business with you soon.
Thank you, Ms. Darlene, for that comprehensive presentation of the portfolio of AGD Solutions. So for our next presenter, let me now call on Mr. Emmanuel C. Valdez for the presentation of OF Bank. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Eman Valdez, Assistant Vice President at the Land Bank of the Philippines, and currently designated as a Relationship Officer of the Overseas Filipino Bank, a digital bank of Land Bank. Thank you for inviting the Overseas Filipino Bank to be part of this event. It is a privilege to discuss it is a privilege to discuss how OF Bank is leveraging on technology to deliver a seamless and convenient banking experience to Filipinos overseas and their families back home. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our President and CEO, Ms. Laila Martin, who is also an SVP of the Land Bank. So she will be answering questions later. Okay, next slide, please. The OF Bank is the first digital-only branchless Philippine bank and the very first bank granted a digital banking license by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It is also the official digital bank of the Philippine government and is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Land Bank of the Philippines, the second largest bank in the country today. The primary mandate of OF Bank is to cater to the needs of overseas Filipinos and their beneficiaries. And in the midst of the global pandemic, the promise of the government became a reality on June 29, 2020, when we virtually launched the OF Bank as a digital-only and branchless government bank. Next slide, please. Okay, ang OF Bank po ay ang dating Philippine Postal Savings Bank na na-acquire ho ng Land Bank in 2017. So by virtue of Executive Order number 44. So kinonvert ho siya ng Land Bank as the Overseas Filipino Bank and nagkaroon ho ng change sa kanyang business model in 2020 na ginawa ho siyang digital bank. I think we're okay na. Slide 3, ma'am, please. Okay, alongside our parent bank, the Land Bank of the Philippines, we advocate for greater digital financial inclusion by making formal financial services much more accessible, primarily servicing overseas Filipinos anytime and anywhere in the world. Next slide. We believe that this innovation will entail a stronger collaboration between financial institutions and fintech firms geared towards the goal of offering a broad array of customer-centric financial products and services. Next slide. Customers can access value-adding financial services such as savings, credit, and investments that are more effective and responsive to their needs. Towards this end, OF Bank is focused on building a stronger digital infrastructure through our fully digital services anchored on delivering and addressing the banking needs of Filipinos overseas, as well as their families back home. We look to further expand the financial footprint of our priority clients in over 100 countries. To date, the OF Bank mobile banking application is accessible in 123 countries and territories, where Filipinos can open a bank account and perform transactions without the need to go to any physical location. For us at OF Bank, technology is the lifeblood of our service, enabling us to reach and serve Filipinos overseas and their families from around the world. As the official digital bank of the Philippine government, OF Bank provides reliable and secure financial and investment products and services to meet the diverse requirements of our clients, including the delivery of quality and efficient foreign remittance services. Account opening with OF Bank, for instance, takes a matter of few minutes using a smartphone. Through our digital onboarding system with artificial intelligence or the DUBS AI, our clients can submit all the necessary requirements online as it employs image recognition technology that allows clients to capture and upload their facial image and a copy of their valid ID for standard verification. Our clients have access to three types of OF Bank accounts, which they can simply open using the OF Bank mobile app on their smartphones. So with a valid identification card and a secure internet connection, the whole account opening process can be completed in a matter of minutes. As of September 30, 2022, a total of, next slide please, a total of 101,031 OF Bank accounts have been opened by overseas Filipinos and their beneficiaries from 123 countries and territories worldwide. Enabling clients to fill out forms online and digitizing their data is a significant step towards developing a more personalized financial products. The OF Bank mobile app also allows overseas Filipinos and their beneficiaries to perform various banking transactions at the safety of their homes. They can send money to their families back in the Philippines via the fund transfer feature, wherein transfers to OF Bank and Land Bank accounts are free, while transfers to other banks are subject to applicable InstaPay charges. They can also pay bills and dues to more than 800 government and private merchants and invest directly in Philippine government securities online, all in one app. As part of our advocacy in promoting digital or financial inclusion, we also facilitate financial literacy seminars and account opening sessions for overseas Filipinos and OFWs in partnership with the many Philippine embassies, consulates, various government agencies, OFW groups, and Filipino community groups. As of end September, we have conducted 715 webinars and 42 face-to-face seminars for our priority clients. These financial education initiatives provide our clients the knowledge and skills to fully understand not only the products and services, but the basic information on their rights and responsibilities, account handling, digital banking literacy, among others. I want to underscore the importance of having an accessible platform that allows the investing public to easily participate in the country's bond offerings. Next slide, please. The OF Bank MBA offers a bond purchase feature which allows Filipinos from anywhere in the world to securely invest in Philippine government securities. So ito po yung tinatawag ho natin ng mga retail treasury bonds na sa traditional bank po, pupunta ho kayo doon, then you will have to fill out the forms. But with the OF Bank MBA, you can actually directly invest in the national government using the OF Bank mobile app. So the bank actively participates in the roadshows organized by the Bureau of the Treasury, both local and foreign, to promote its bond offerings, which can be conveniently accessed using the OF Bank MBA. Bringing banking convenience right at our clients' fingertips offers numerous benefits. This includes better financial management as we guide them into making wiser financial decisions, such as saving money for business capital. Primary to our savings instruments, clients can maximize the OF Bank debit card, which is a peso savings account with no minimum initial deposit and no maintaining balance. Meanwhile, OFWs who wish to grow their hard-earned money can directly invest in government bonds in 5 minutes or less via the bond purchase feature. These include the BTR's RTBs, Premium bonds, and the retail dollar bonds. Okay, sharing with everyone the results of the previous offering via the OF Bank MBA. OF Bank contributed around $203,200 US dollar to the total amount of investment generated for the first ever retail dollar bond or RDB offering of the Bureau of the Treasury. Through the OF Bank mobile banking app, Filipino retail investors worldwide were able to participate in the offering safely and conveniently. Our kababayans took advantage of these investment outlets uh, to help the government raise funds for various programs to accelerate the recovery and bolster the resiliency of the Philippine economy due to the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. As OF Bank finds its way forward in digital banking, we are already forging partnerships with public and private entities for a seamless integration as a means to achieve holistic financial experience for our clients. This forms part of OF Bank's continuous digital transformation, which is a key to provide safe, fast, and convenient service to customers whose needs are evolving with the growing shift and clamor for innovative solutions. OF Bank continuously enhances its digital banking services in response to the evolving needs of Filipinos abroad. Moving forward, our kababayans can expect more innovations from OF Bank as we aim to shorten the distance between them and their loved ones through our digital products and services. OF Bank will remain at the forefront of catering to the banking needs of Filipinos abroad and their families through secure and reliable digital services towards helping them achieve their financial goals. Thank you, and I wish everyone a productive day ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel, for presenting the products of newly created bank po, sa OF Bank. So, I'm very glad na ano rin po, may mga participants tayo dito from the DOF po. So, syempre, yung BTR po is part of them. And malamang ay masaya din po sila na mas nakakapag-participate ang ating karaniwang Pilipino po sa ating banking system po with do sa mga products na na-mention ni Sir Emmanuel. So now let me call on Mr. Paul Christian Cortez to present the innovative products from the Land Bank of the Philippines.
Hello, good afternoon. Isang mapagpalang hapon po sa ating lahat. Allow me to take off my mask for a few minutes. No? So again, we're from the Land Bank of the Philippines. So maraming salamat po for allowing us to share some of our facilities to you. Yes, ma'am. This afternoon, we'll be sharing with you some of our digital banking products na alam naman po namin baka ginagamit na ninyo. We'll start off with our WeAccess facility. So this is our digital banking platform for our corporate clients, including local government units, GOCCs, state universities and colleges, and Office of the Judiciary. So with the WeAccess facility, you may now view your balances and do financial transactions. So among the financial services available, we can do fund transfer, we can do bills payment, your bills payment po to GSIS, to Pag-ibig, to PhilHealth, now can be automated. We can do auto debit and auto credit. We can do fund sweeping, both outward and inward fund sweeping. We can do ATM payroll. So now, kahit po may pandemic, hindi na po maho-hostage ang sweldo ng ating mga empleyado. Pwede tayo magpasweldo kahit sarado pa ang bangko. Sarado na ang bangko. Sabado, linggo, pati holiday. We can also do checkbook reorder and status inquiry. For our national government agencies, we also have the EMDS, wherein you'll be able to view the account information of your MDS accounts. We can do ASIC, we can do LDDAP, and we can also do NTA. Yeah. Soon po, we'll also be able to do bills payment from our MDS accounts that we hope to implement by next year. Moving forward, this afternoon, we'll be sharing with you our Land Bank Link Biz portal. Medyo nakakabulol po, no? Ang key takeaway po natin, it's LBP. So Land Bank pa rin po. With the Link Biz portal, we'll be able to accept payments para po doon sa mga nagbibid sa atin, security deposits. Now they can do this online. Sino po ba ang tumatanggap currently ng procurement documents online? We have the DBMPS. We have the DBM Advisory Board. We have PhilJeps, and even Land Bank's own procurement department. So very quickly po, we'll show with you ang kagandahan ng LinkBiz at kung bakit ito in-offer namin. This is in line with ARTA. Recently, may ARTA issuance. We can share on the next slide. Ayan po, malapit na yung next slide natin. Yan. So this is Memorandum Circular number 2020-06, the guidelines on the issuance and reinstitution of permits and licenses under the new normal, kung saan po explicitly sinabi na pwedeng gamitin si link-based portal ni Land Bank. We also have Executive Order number 170, signed by our then President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Next slide, please. Which directs government instrumentalities to adopt digital payments for government disbursements and collections. So may mga backbones na po tayo ng paggamit ng digital platform sa pagtanggap at pag-disburse ng mga funds. We also have issuances from the Commission on Audit. The guidelines on the use of e-collection and e-payments for government transactions. So marami pong agency nagtataka, pwede ba yun sa COA? So meron pong issuance si COA na pwede natin gamitin. So unlike po traditional bills payment facility, with the link-based portal ni Land Bank, hindi lang po Land Bank accounts ang pwedeng gamitin pambayad sa inyo. Next slide, please. We now accept payments from Land Bank accounts. Accounts with the Overseas Filipino Bank. We can also enable payments from Visa, MasterCard, and JCP. Accept payments po from participating BankNet member banks. And enable po ang PCHC Paygate participant. Recently, we have also enabled payments from e-wallets such as GCash, PayMaya, ShopeePay, and GrabPay na pwede na rin pong gamitin pambayad sa inyo. For our government clients, for our corporate clients po who wish to accept payments from Land Bank, they can encourage their clients to open the Land Bank Corporate Payment Card account. This facility po was initially designed for LTO. Si LTO po, remember when we first purchased our first car, or every time we purchase our car, the first 3 years of LTO registration is for free because the car dealerships pay for the LTO registration. At ang paraan po ng pagbabayad ng mga car dealers is through the Land Bank link-based portal. We have recently breached 3 billion collections for LTO. Yung pong mga car dealerships, they open the Land Bank corporate payment card, and how much to open? Murang-mura lang po. It's only for 5,000 pesos. Next slide, please. Yan. And moving forward, would also like to share with you that the facility may be implemented in 2 ways. Either as a standalone facility, meaning we enroll you as a merchant, and we can also do po with interface. If you have availed of solutions from providers, or ang ating pong technology department was able to create interactive websites, pwede po nating mag-interface dito. Next slide, please. So these are some of the BankNet online participating banks. We have AUB, DBP, PBCom, Philippine Veterans Bank. For our cash payment options, for our PCHC Paygate, pwede na rin po tayong tumanggap ng bayad from BPI, Union Bank, RCBC, Robinsons Bank, and PS Bank. For cash payment option, pwede po tayong tumanggap ng payments through 7-Eleven. So you partner with Land Bank and we allow your clients to pay yung obligations nila sa inyo sa 7-Eleven, H. Louvillier, sa Petron, Radio Wealth, at iba pa. At wala lang po sa slide ko, katulad sabi kanina, mobile wallets. Magkano po ang service fee? The service fee is passed on sa nagbabayad sa inyo at murang-mura lang po. Kung gamit po nila ay ang Land Bank account, they'll be charged 7 pesos. Same is true po for OF Bank account and Land Bank Pay. So mas mura pa po ito kaysa sa bayad sa tricycle o sa jeep. At magagawa po nila yung payment at the convenience and safety of their offices or their houses. These are some of the example of transaction types na pwede nating tanggapin para sa inyo. We can accept bidding document fees, bid securities, performance securities, at iba pa. Kung meron pa po kayong gustong i-define, we can define them for you. At mabilis na po ito, the quick walkthrough. We can do the facility with interface, galing po sa website niyo. Pay now lang, or we can do without the interface. Meaning, we enroll you po as one of our merchants. Next slide, please. Yan po. So tuloy-tuloy na po yung slides natin. Kapag walang interface, i-enroll po namin kayo as a biller. Then, pipiliin po nila kung ano babayaran nila. Then we can gather as much as 12 information or data from your clients. They will have to authorize the payment, and debit confirmation receipt will be presented to them po. Ano po ang mas critical para sa atin? Paano nyo po malalaman na nagbayad sila? We have the MPI module or the Merchant Payment Inquiry module, which allows you to view the reports almost real time. Bakit almost real time? Meron lang po tayong 3 to 5 seconds delay. So 3 to 5 seconds after magbayad po ng ating supplier, makikita nyo na po, nabayad na po sila. So very simple lang po. The reports may be downloaded out either in Excel or CSV format. So we also provide po social media card para mag-guide po yung suppliers natin. So that's all po for Land Bank presentation this afternoon. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them during the open forum. Maraming salamat po and have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Paul, for sharing those products po ng Land Bank po. Definitely, ang DBM Central Office po is using na po yung payment system ng Land Bank right now. And with that, let me call on Mr. Alejandro James Xiongban for the Dayan Group Incorporated po. Thank you.
Hi guys, good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Alejandro Chongbian with Dayan Group. Maybe we could start it with our 1-minute video that pretty much explains everything that we're gonna share, and we're gonna skip through a lot of slides anyway. Our objective here is to try to show you a couple of the things that we do, which is on machine vision, machine learning, artificial intelligence, as well as our payment solutions with a BSP OPS. So please fire away with the video. Take two. So while they're doing that, anyone here from DSWD? Anyone here from DSWD? All right. How about civil service, CSC? Wala. I saw you guys on the list, ha? Wala dito. DepEd. Okay. TESDA. So that whole row, we'll talk to you after this one. Okay. maybe go to the slides. Maybe slide 5. Oh, that one, okay. So let me do a recap of the video. Basically, we do two critical things, right? What I said earlier. First one is we're using Forms AI and then Hanep Buhay. Under Forms AI, this is pretty much the trend that we are seeing. Lucky for us, we started this over a year ago, and I've seen a lot of posts on social media about digitization projects, digitalization initiatives as well. So let me explain to you what we do. Basically, we'll use machine vision, machine learning. We can read IDs printed digital, handwriting, and typewritten. And then we organize that so that it can actually be easily ingested into an agency's existing system. So just to help out a little bit, because when we started hearing a lot of the trends of digitization versus digitalization, in digitization, you're basically just digitizing a form, a piece of paper, ink on paper, and putting in some kind of computer readable format, which is like a PDF. Okay. What we have found and when we have engaged with a lot of agencies recently is that the digitization process started a while ago, and it's heavy on the encoding, quality check, and then approvals. And then when you try to use the database, because these efforts were done about 10 years ago, it's actually quite hard to get that data actionable. So I have a feeling DepEd's Form 137, Department of Agriculture, RSBSA, quite a lot of the agencies are going through this initiative right now, and we're here to help. So go back one. Whoa, hold on. Excited to. Digitalization naman is basically using digital technologies to actually do two things: increase your efficiencies and get you guys revenue. So we have examples of several agencies on both initiatives. Next slide. So digitization, basically from the CSC, they're not here, and though I'm sure you're pretty much watching here. Scanning the master lists, your scores. I'm sure everyone here has had to take a civil service exam. Your scores, your personal data records, your picture seat plans to make sure it was really you taking the test. All of that has to be digitized and accessible, so that when, let's say, the president calls and asks how many director 3 levels do we have in this country, it will not take us a long time to answer. Okay, so the other one is for DepEd, Form 137. Quite a lot of students were crying before because they're trying to change schools, and they actually needed a Form 137, and it's done by our teachers, and our teachers are on the regional office, and it's very hard for the students to transfer schools, especially abroad. They have to go to the regional office to get these forms signed by the teacher. It's very difficult. There are existing systems that all these agencies have invested in, and they are quite good. The hard part is getting the digital formats into those systems. That's where we come in. For the NBI, of course, there's quite a number of backlog. There's about 11 million jackets that are typewritten, and we just have to find a way to put them in their current system as well. As you guys saw probably a few months ago, there was a certain politician got appointed, and then there was an actual hit with the NBI, but it was a little late. Of course, the NBI is doing a great job. They're doing everything they can, but sometimes the systems have a delay. Anyway, that's on the digitization. On the right-hand side, it's called the digitalization, which is where basically for DOLE Tupad, by the time the disaster has hit, and then the people from Tupad come in to try to help the people who are hurt by this calamities, it sometimes takes 5 days to 2 weeks to get them the money. And it's usually a KYC issue, right? Because you're going on field, people have lost their jobs, their livelihoods for 5 days. We're trying to give them money, but it's very hard to do so because of the encoding, the KYC, the checking, the counter checking. So we're actually helping them with that. Also from the BIR, there's about 9 million balikbayan boxes that come in the informal sector. There's basically not enough people watching those balikbayan boxes. So batas, if there's more than 3 boxes going to your home or under your name within a certain velocity and frequency, you're supposed to pay a tax. So we actually have a revenue seepage here. Oh, DOF is here in the house. All right. Basically, sir, 9 million balikbayan boxes are coming in, and we cannot track them. When we did the proof of concept, we started taking pictures of handwritten balikbayan boxes, and we started to catch them. And they started to change the name, but we still got the addresses. So we actually found a way to help stop the revenue leakage. So that's the digitalization. DSWD naman, I sent my daughter abroad. It took me forever to fill up all these forms. And for the minors traveling abroad, we realized that it was not more of a convenience for the parents to actually digitize these forms. We actually realized that the DSWDs in my heart is basically to stop child trafficking. So in the minors traveling abroad, Jesus, when we found out that it was for child trafficking about this MTA, DSWDs here, we gave it for free. So our preferred style, we do bid, we do aggressively pursue these digitalization projects. But if there is a way for us to help the country and for us to charge a convenience fee, our preferred method is we give it at no cost to government and charge a convenience fee. So that's my sales pitch. I hope all the agencies here want to sign up. Oh yeah, we have more. So Department of Agrarian Reform. Long time ago, there was this what do you call it? The CARP, where basically 100 farmers get 100 hectares. But chopping that up now is called Project Split. So this initiative also requires KYC. It's very difficult to go on field, do a big interview, and then come back to the office, make pamasahe for 2 hours, get on a computer, and then follow the mandate of the agency. It's kapoy na. They're so tired and like, oh, there's a lot of human error. We can do 50 to 150 a day. Our AI can do 2,000 a day for one person, and you're just gonna quality check over coffee. Our SBSA again, it's basically a 3 or 4 page form where we're trying to figure out exactly what the farmers are doing in the yields of their products throughout the country. So the competitive check here, actually, we have no visibility on what these actually people are selling. For example, onions. What if somebody bought all the onions, put them in bodega, and then basically hid them so that we can start importing, right? And once you start importing, these guys start shipping their own special products, right? So there's certain things that the AI technology allows us to digitize, but to become actionable. Next slide. Oh, so that's it on the AI technology. Now we're gonna go to the second part, which is basically the BSP OPS. It's a livelihood program. We've asked a few people here who wanted to be a guinea pig. Nobody said yes, which is fantastic because we were gonna give 10,000 pesos each person that said yes. It's a BSP wallet that we give you a livelihood program. We're currently giving this to the FMCGs. So we have tens of thousands of sari-sari stores using this. Basically, what brands are trying to do is if you buy a certain like 10 kilos of Virginia hot dogs, we're going to give you 100 pesos on rebates in this loyalty program. But what it allows them to do is, because instead of giving them cash rebates, it's hard for the distribution of cash, as most of us know from land bank cash handling. It's very difficult to get cash all the way down to the person who needs it. So what we did instead, we made it faster. We just gave them 100 pesos in digital currency. They use it to sell load anyway. So pinaikot ulit ng pera nila. Because we're actually tied up with Mindanao development, and quite a lot of the FMCGs are in Mindanao, and let's say the RBOS of Department of Agrarian Reform, so 7,000 of them, these guys actually do not want an app. We tell everybody that we built an app first. Nobody wanted it. So we actually built this SMS thing right now that you can send money and do a transaction in GCash via SMS, analog phone. And then hopefully when we graduate them, we actually have all the bills payment. We are a partner of Buy It Center. We actually have all the bills payments, RFIDs, Meralco, real time, all in Messenger. We built it inside Messenger because we have a few megabytes of data every day from Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. Shameless plug. Does anyone here from? Okay, wala. Good. Then we eventually went to the PWA. The PWA allows us to use InstaPay, GCash, and a few other sources to top up your own. This is all one account. So we start them with analog, and then eventually we get them to say, hey, it works. And then we can actually start using it for bills payment. And in the PWA, because of our FMCG partners selling through trade, we can actually put in their products. So they can reorder their products of hot dogs in our PWA. But that's in a year or two. We started the wrong way. Big mistake. You have to go analog first, especially in Mindanao. Okay. And that's it. We can just cut to the thank you. So again, my sales pitch is we would like to give it at no cost to government. Hope you guys have questions there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alejandro, for giving that presentation sa atin. And yung differentiation po ng digitization at digitalization, medyo magkaiba po siya in terms of the results na nabibigay po sa atin. And then let me call on our last presenter for this session po. May I now call on Mr. Jed Cruz to present for the nawala ako. Sorry. Yes, sir. Let me call on Sir Jed po for his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. You see everything? Okay, great. Let's get started. A little bit of a rough introduction there. Hello, my name is Jed Cruz. I'm the Data and AI Specialist for Microsoft Philippines. Sorry, napapalamig ba kayo dito? So, I'm a little nervous when I'm nervous. My boss is lumalalim ko. Anyway, so I'm here to speak to you about our Azure Data and AI services. And yes, let's transform the Philippine nation into a data-driven nation, because that's been pretty much a topic of how technology is driving and transforming the way that we live. Like, for example, you want to book a Grab to get from place to place. When I came here to the Philippines in 2008, that wasn't even possible. And today, it's not even how many years later that's possible. We're using IoT devices. We wear these wearables that count our steps, that count our heartbeats. All this data and all these transactions that we do in our day-to-day lives is transforming the landscape in technology today. And the applications that are driving these technologies are what's really important, and how all of the users and all of your citizens are basically looking at how can they leverage new technologies on a daily basis. It's a new download for your kids when they play games. It might be a new download for you to help your work productivity and how you impact your organization. And a lot of people we're finding in Microsoft, and when they do transactions with each other, 63% of them actually want and expect that their unique needs are being met. How many of you book a flight and expect when you pick the seat on your flight and you go to that destination, you expect to get into that seat? And it's just very common now, because you can see on a map before you even get on an airplane where you're going to sit. And that wasn't even possible how many years ago? I'm older than I look, but that's something new for being able to make these decisions, are what the social impacts of the expectations are. And the popularity of applications becoming available into the palm of your hand are what's really driving this new digital transformation. And Microsoft recognizes that. I think how do we look at this from our perspective, and how we make choices for making procurement in our government agencies more sustainable, better, and so that we are not putting impact of the social expectations and not meeting them, because it translates into lost revenue, right? It translates into unpleasant experiences or inefficient processes. We all know what could happen when something digital goes wrong. Like, has anyone ever seen what happens when your mobile banking app all of a sudden tells you have 0 pesos in your account, but yesterday you had, how much money in there? That's a very unpleasant experience to have happen. So not meeting these expectations in your applications and where they reside can definitely decelerate that transformation that we're aiming to achieve as a Philippine nation. And what we're trying to do with Microsoft, with all of our government agencies in the Philippines, is to help accelerate that. And where do we put these applications? Where do your developers go? Where do they go typically today when they build an app that's new? Like when we needed to develop COVID Kaya or Rapid Pass during the pandemic, we all built these in the cloud. These were all transformative platforms, the Azure cloud platform, that allowed the flexibility, speed, and the security needed to be able to drive these modern applications with the data behind it. The data is now your new asset, and it's going to help you transform into the future, right? It needs to have a platform that's flexible, that's agile, and is also secure. And so when you look at where do you put your data, a lot of you think, well, The process still today might siguro on-prem na lang tayo because that's where it is. It always has been. And it's where we feel safe with it. But on-prem, if we look at the economics, not many of you might know that the economics of going on-prem in terms of the costs, the adoption, let's not even think about costs. Let's even think about how do you recycle the hardware. Let's think about what about the power capacity requirements? Because as the data grows, so will your footprint on-premise grow. And this is where the cloud economics comes in. And a lot of our customers are finding, especially in our government agencies in the public sector. I'm very excited to share that the data-driven engine where Microsoft Cloud Azure hosts that platform provides a lot more savings in terms of capacity, as well as capacity on demand, that flexibility and that security. And also in terms of savings in life cycle of having to re-spend and recalculate the entire procurement cycle for doing acquisition of hardware. So we're freezing the CAPEX model and going into a new cloud OPEX model. So for those of you who are not familiar with Microsoft Azure Cloud, it's a subscription, and that's what we're doing. And when you subscribe to the cloud for Microsoft Azure, you change not only the economics, but you also get to have data-driven insights. And I'm here to talk to you today primarily about two products, Microsoft Synapse and Microsoft Power BI. So let's talk about those and why. Apart from the economics of not doing anything, we know that the road to increasing our GDP is going to be through the power of data. We are one of the largest nations on Facebook. We are one of the largest nations that have so many forms that we want to transform into AI, as our previous presenter has mentioned. We have so many people who live outside the Philippines that want to do transactions and send money back and forth from home. And we know that looking at what we send back home, whether it's our balikbayan boxes, whether it's our money, whether it's flying an airplane to go home or flying an airplane to go to your next vacation destination here in the Philippines, all of that data is going to translate into a huge, huge economy. And a lot of us, a lot of the government agencies are looking at where do they find themselves on this journey. They know that they can make reports. You know that you can probably go in and get some data and whip up something and say, here's a beautiful report, sir, ma'am, to your process owners, to your USEC, to your directors. But really, business intelligence is just the first stage. Maybe you're looking at things in hindsight. When you really transform into a data-driven organization or a data-driven agency, is you get analytics to give you insight and maybe foresight. And this is the maturity journey that will take you there. With that, you need a tool that can model your data, that can host your data, secure it, and also leverage it so that you can do things with it. And this is where Microsoft Cloud can help drive you to become a data-driven culture. Okay, this is where these insights, where everybody in the organization has their own individual dashboard. And we're doing this for some agencies today. All right, your role might include finance, your role might include procurement, but you already know how much you need, what your budget's supposed to be, what your ledger will be looked at, like if you do these procurements, or what your insights for your organization are going to matter. But then that means that you'll have to democratize the data. What does it mean to democratize? To share it across everybody. It needs to be free. It needs to be open, but it also needs to be secure, and there needs to have skills. And Microsoft is actually helping organizations like our national government agencies to get skilled. Please come to us. We're willing to train you. We have open webinar trainings to teach you how to become a data-driven organization. And we teach you about our data capabilities, like data modernization, analytics and insight, and even data science. We're helping our regulators, our banks, not just our national government agencies, but a lot of our private sector entities are already using our tools here in the Philippines today. And they're putting their data on Microsoft Azure Cloud because we have all of the data capabilities, foundations, and everything built in, whether it's modernizing their SQL Server footprint or moving into non-structured NoSQL with our Cosmos DB, getting analytics from Azure Synapse through Power BI, or even doing Azure machine learning with our data science platform. All of this is possible today. And it provides you an enterprise grade, safe and secure and flexible platform in the cloud. So what is Azure Synapse? What am I talking about? I'm talking about putting all of your data sources, whether it's CRM, whether it is your core systems, whether it is your application databases, whatever data sources that you want to put in, we can store, prep, train, and model that data within Azure Synapse. And here we can start to give insights. We can start to orchestrate those insights through, like, say, our Power Platform or through Dynamics 365, which some of you are already using, or maybe add machine learning to give predictive or prescriptive insights for you. And many organizations still, although they might not be in that future or more difficult state of the data-driven culture of organizations, still, most of our government agencies are using Power BI. And Power BI is such a powerful tool that allows built-in authoring capabilities. And once you've put your data in a platform on our Azure cloud into Azure Synapse, you're able to publish this data. After you've authored it, you're able to now share directly through the cloud or on-premise if you'd like, and refresh this in a more real-time scenario. So your reports are automated. You no longer have to spend and churn that time every day to get it done. And once you package your reports, they're super easy for consumption, and you can manage your content and then begin to collaborate. This is where the Philippines can become a data-driven nation, is with collaboration of their data. So I challenge and encourage everyone here today to consider Microsoft's technologies and products. Thank you for listening to my presentation today, and I hope to speak to you all again very soon. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Jed from Microsoft, for giving us an overview of Azure and Synapse and Power BI. So with that, let us pause for a while, and we will have a trivia portion for you here in the audience po, and even in our Zoom platform. So you can also participate po kahit hindi po kayo kasama dito sa live audience. Let me now call on Ma'am Jo for that. Yan. So, naka-flash yun sa screen natin. And so, ito na po yung tanong, Ma'am Jo. Tama po ba? So, ang tanong, how many participating booths do we have for the FY 2022 Procurement Summit? So, ang mga participants po natin can scan yung ating nandito po, yung on our live audiences. And again, syempre, kailangan yung pangalan nyo po, nakaregister po kayo sa ating Slido account. And even yung nasa Zoom po natin platform, they can also answer po. Again, kailangan din pong syempre yung inyong name of organization _ your name nakalagay po for that. And we will announce the winners or winner later on sa ating program po. Thank you very much. So now, given that we had 6 presentations po from our resource speakers po, we can now open our Q&A portion. So first up, habang wala pa pong nabibigay po sa akin po ang ating secretariat po, let me just give in the first question po from our resource speakers po. So my question is, given yung inyong mga products or services, and given yung nami-mention natin kanina po ng ating information and data are being uploaded in the systems, in the cloud, how can we ensure that we are secured lalong-lalo na po do sa mga hackers po na even last year nagkaroon po tayo ng mga reports on hacking po. So, let me now call on po yung ating mga resource speakers po. If we may po, sina Sir Rico, si Ma'am Darlene, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Alejandro, si Sir Jed po. Can we call on them, and Mr. Paul po, if you have any insights po on how your products or services continually improve po para po ma-protect po tayo sa mga hackers po. Thank you. Yung ating microphones po is nandito rin po sa ating gitna po ng ating room po for your use. Thank you. Si Sir Greg pala. Sorry, hindi pala siya.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. Siguro let me go first no dun sa concern about for the security, since Sangfor is a cybersecurity company. We have this called service na we have shared service na tinatawag no, since yun nga, we are concerned about our data on the cloud. So with us, we have this service na ginagawa na aside we provide no, of course, the security requirements on our cloud. We provide firewall, we provide our backup there, so or whatever na kailangan for, of course, business continuity. And of course, we have the service called na incident response. So for example, we have this na pag may nangyari na incident, so for example, ransomware attack or loss of data, we can do on your behalf, no? We have this shared service na tinatawag. So, yun din yung isang advantage namin, no? We support this kind of service na we do on-site, what do you call this? Parang for example nga, yun nagka-ransomware ka and tinutulungan namin no yung customer, hindi kami yung basta nag-subscribe ka sa amin is we let you whatever happened to your cloud. Kami for example yun nga, nagka-ransomware, we help you recover no. So those kinds of attacks.
Okay, thank you Mr. Greg. Any one of our participants po sa resource speaker po. And actually, kaka-setup lang naman po ng upuan po. May I call on po yung ating anim na nag-present po dito po sa stage po para easier po and mas dynamic yung ating maging discussion. Thank you. Mr. Jed, would you like to...
If I may take the question on data security, kung paano natin na-secure yung data natin in the cloud. I think there's just not the investment strategy of Microsoft, which is in the billions of dollars, of how we secure our data centers and protect your data. We're very transparent with the certifications that we hold from our security and from our data privacy standpoints. We take a lot of ownership and responsibility, and also doing penetration as well as vulnerability assessment testing on a quite frequent basis. The key thing to know about putting your data in the cloud is that you own your data. It's still yours. And the next thing that you want to know is that we also create a shared operating model for you to manage and administer your data in the cloud with Microsoft Azure. The next beneficial thing is that we help train you. And we also provide support services that will also proactively go in and take a look at your security posture. So it's an ecosystem, I think, of decision points that you need to make across the organization, as well as having the right amount of people for your operations. And new and coming into picture for a lot of government agencies, in kausap natin sa Microsoft is, ang sabi nila, they want to build a data governance, which includes the security aspect, but also a data operations model. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jed and Mr. Alejandro. No? Any other po sa ating mga resource speaker to share po?
Yes, for land bank or your data po with land bank is highly secured. Being the biggest government financial institution, the second largest universal bank in the Philippines, we are subjected to regular
penetration testing and vulnerability assessment conducted by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kung bakit po is that 100% of local government units, including more than 90% of government instrumentalities, maintains their account with Land Bank. And hence, we need to maintain po the security of our facilities para hindi po magkaroon ng breach. Yan. So this is on top of the infrastructure, data infrastructures po na nakaset in place kay Land Bank. Yan, maraming salamat.
Thank you po, Sir Paul. And Ms. Darlene?
For AG group of companies, since we are a system integrator, we are highly abiding with the Data Privacy Act, as well with our vendors. For example, Sangfor, Huawei, and other brands, since they have the R&D and they are capable with securing data breaches. So dependent si AG group of companies from our vendors po to secure data from the end users po.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Emmanuel?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Siguro, just to add din sa nasabi ni Christian kanina, the Overseas Filipino Bank is also running on the same technology solution and platform of the Land Bank of the Philippines. So, meron ho tayong tinatawag na mga authentication and of course, meron ho tayong user IDs and password. And before ho ma-access yung account ninyo, meron ho tayong tinatawag na mga one-time PIN na pinapadala sa inyong mobile phones, sa email. So, just a reminder, of course, ang daming incidents ng mga fraud po ngayon. Never click on the links na kasi ang gaganda na ng pagkakagawa. Minsan nakagayang-gaya nila yung appearance ng mobile app or even the website, yung ating online banking channels. So, verify niyong mabuti kung tama yung URL na pinapasok ninyo. And of course, yun nga, there are also security questions in case you forgot your user ID or na kayo lang ho dapat ang nakakaalam nun. So, you should not disclose all those information to anybody para safe ho ang inyong accounts.
Thank you very much. And maybe I'll go on do sa ating next question po. So, considering the innovations po locally and abroad with the various technologies, what kind of hindrances do your company see in the government sector that needs to be addressed to promote the emerging technologies na mga ini-introduce natin sa market? Medyo ano po, no? Mabigat. Oo. What kind of hindrances para po mas maging open po ang ating development of technologies po? Mr. Jed?
I'll take that. From a Microsoft perspective, we have to say thank you to all of our people in the government today, whether you're an agency, whether you're in policy or you're writing and for legislative. I think there's a lot of framework in the direction that's driving those facilities to help us become there. I think awareness is going to be key, and making awareness in a fashion that's both sustainable as well as making it relatable for the people, right? If I'm putting data in the cloud, what does that mean to your government agency? So how do we have those conversations more? I think we need to continue to facilitate those and make sure that everyone in the nation is committed to being passionate about not the problems that they're having now, but maybe to solving them. So I think that's one way we can help the Philippine nation go in that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jed. Any other ano po sa ating mga resource speakers?
Good afternoon. So
Yes, sir.
with Sangfor, no, majority of our customers are from the government sector actually. And during the COVID, di ba, pandemic, the digital transformation happened and most of our customers, actually, it's not a challenge, no? Parang nangyari, government were actually more open this time, no, na mag-convert to cloud. And yeah, that was actually not really the struggle that we had, but the experience that we had during this pandemic. Yeah.
Thank you. So parang ang pandemic pa ngayon sa technology is mas nakatulong pa para mas maging open ang government sa changes brought about by these emerging technologies. And considering po yung time allotted with us po, we would have to close this seminar po. But before that, let me give lang po yung ating summary po ng mga na-present po earlier po. So for Sangford po, they provided us with their high-level design portfolios po and solutions po like SSL VPN, next-gen firewall, and inbuilt WAF, and also yung mga DC zones nila po, and HCI na mas maganda po, syempre may mga redundancy tayo rather than yung mga usual ano natin po in-house or on-premises servers. Then next po, AGD presented their system integration technologies po, including cybersecurity, data center and infra management, safe city solutions, hospitality solutions, among others. Meanwhile po, under OF Bank po, their products po na they're geared towards financial inclusion and digital literacy po. With the introduction din po na syempre po yung kanilang isang product po ay open po for us to participate, yung mga regular Filipinos po and OFWs to participate even do sa mga retail bonds and dollar treasury bonds po natin. And then for the land bank, yung mga digital payments po natin na ginagawa po, lalong-lalo na yung mga merchants who wants to participate in the procurement process of the government of the Philippines po is readily available na po. And syempre po, this will be under the partnerships or memorandum of agreements or with do sa mga agencies po before we can use it. Meanwhile po, for the Dion po, they inform us on do sa mga digitization ng informations po with and also yung comparing it dun sa digitalization. So dependent po yun dun sa needs of our stakeholders, our government, and even po yung clamors ng ating mga public. So dependent po yun, and hopefully it will drive us towards a better and open government po. And lastly po, sa Microsoft po, they discussed Mr. Jed discussed yung expectations po with applications. And kung magkakaroon po mga downtimes, it may result do sa deceleration of development of applications. However po, he also discussed yung regarding the cloud economics po on the savings in capacity and flexibility. Also discussing po yung kanilang Synapse technology and Power BI that can help our government sector to transform to the new generation po. And with that po, may I thank everyone po, ating mga resource speaker and our participants po, live participants, and even those who tune in the Zoom and FB and YouTube platforms po natin. So now, we will already proceed dun sa ating breakout session number 3. And again, thank you for all of us. Thank you, sir. Picture. Sorry. Picture taking pa pala. Hey. So, tanggal muna po ng ng face mask. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon po everyone. For this breakout session room, yung next session po for breakout room number 2 is yung sustainable products and services. So kung dito po kayo naka-assigned, you may stay here po. For room number 6, ang breakout session po is coping with crisis through supply